digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, Spurs fans, and welcome back to another episode of Why Do We Do This to Ourselves? It's Tottenham versus Man City, Pep's supercomputer versus whatever emotional state Spurs are in today. City turn up with £800 million worth of players on the bench. We turn up just with vibes, injuries, and the dream. This is the game where Spurs either play like prime Brazil or forget how to pass the ball after three minutes. No in between. Haaland's lurking in, Pep's overthinking somewhere in North London. A defender has just pulled up with a hamstring warming up. But listen, it's Spurs logic does not apply here. We could lose 4-0 or win 3-2 with an XG of a 0.7. So buckle up, grab your stress ball, hide the remote. This is Tottenham versus Manchester City, the build-up show, and chaos is always guaranteed. Big up, guys, and welcome to THFC 2 We Die. Joining us, of course, tonight, is one of my co-hosts, a man just back from Scotland, after trying to disrupt the deal between Tottenham and Hibernian as much as he tried. He tried everything. He tried everything from saying Dean Scarlett had a fake injury to even offering Hibernian £1.50 a week of apples and oranges and bananas of fruit just so he could say, but it didn't happen. He's back now in his beloved home. He's back disappointed, but Peter Carrington has slapped him on the back and says, well done, Rain. Another successful job done, and Rain's out going out the boardroom going, F off. I wanted him to stay. How are you, Rain? Great to have you back, bud.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, good to be back. Obviously, I have actually been in Scotland, but it wasn't Dane Scarlett related. Although, we probably won't be focusing on that at all. It's a relatively minor thing, but isn't the fact that we've sent a 21, 22-year-old forward out on loan when we're so short on numbers. We've got like 17, 18-year-olds got 16-year-olds on the bench, and we're sending this kid out on loan. It makes no sense to me at all. He's clearly going in the summer. It's just indicative, Dermot, of just how bonkers these people are. It's like, what's the point? Just put him on our bench, and let him go in the summer. What's the point in sending him on loan?
This is what Rain was talking to Peter Carrington about today, and they just wouldn't listen. They said, no, he's going, Rain, he's going. He needs first team football. He's going to get first team football here. Look, all in seriousness, Rain, I think it's the most stupid decision ever. It's leaving us lighter in our squad. And Thomas Frank was asked, in the press conference, I wish Thomas Frank would stop doing press conferences, because all he seems to have done is dig himself further into a hole he's already in. Him and Arne Slot must went to the same pre-match or post-match interview school, because they both talk a load of bullshit, the pair of them. There must have been constant connection with one another. What we're going to say this week, Thomas, I don't know, Arnie. How about you say A, B, and C, and I do D, F, and E, and G, and we do that. Okay, fine. And we'll swap them around next week. He's asked, is the squad weaker than it was in the summer? And he had to think about it. Somebody with no brains, no education, be able to tell you, yes, it is weaker. And sending out Dean Scarlett has actually made it weaker. It's a bizarre decision, Rain. It really is. It really is.
And let's be clear, it's an awful statement of our club, an indictment of our club. That what you're saying is true. That sending Dane Scarlett out on loan is making our first team squad, i.e., including the subs, a week. It's just crazy that we're saying that, Dermot. That we're in a position where we're saying that, but it's true. It's true. It's just
and no worry, we've got a transfer window. I think we're already shut up for business. I can't see us getting anyone in the next just under 72 hours. I can't see us pulling anyone in. Who's going to come to our football club? Seriously, who's going to come? I tell you why I won't be surprised. Is Raheem Sterling turns up and he's there holding the shirt. A, he's free. B, would have to pay him any transfer fee. And C, would go, you fancy a few games with us? This might make this might make the fans happy. Oh.
I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to. I didn't. We don't want to make this a Dane Scarlett show, folks. I'm just going to address Gerard. No, I'm not. Neither Dermot nor I are saying that we should keep Dane Scarlett. Neither. I think I can speak for Dermot. On this matter. Neither of us are saying we should keep Dane Scarlett. I think both of us in the summer, if Dane Scarlett left, which I expect him, or both of us expect, and neither of us are going to cry over Dane Scarlett leaving, although Dermot thinks I am. Dermot thinks that I'm going to be a sobbing mess. But I don't think I am.
He rang me up the other night in tears. He rang me up saying he's left, Dermot. He's left us. What am I going to do?
Neither of us really care. All we're saying is sending this guy out on loan, who we know is leaving, when we've got 16 and 18-year-olds on the bench, is just bonkers. It's just like it may as well. We're not going to get anything out of him. It's like, I don't think we're even going to get a fee. But anyway, that's Scarlett.
I think, look, just for the last thing on Dean Scarlett, I think we've ruined him as a footballer. I think we've ruined our young players.
Yeah.
Because you said it on Sava's show a while ago, and I know Sava didn't agree with you, but I sort of thinking about it, I do agree with you. We are ruining our young players. You look at players like Steve Perryman came through our youth academy, Glenn Hoddle. We didn't ruin them players back in the day. You look at the players that we brought in, who was what was his name in the 80s?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Mickey Hazard. But there was another one that came through our academy as well.
Houston, Perryman.
Yeah. You look Nick Barmby came through our academy.
David Howells.
Yeah.
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 Nick Barmby. But the big difference between the players now and all of those players, including Harry Kane, by the way, is they didn't break through into the first team until they were 21, 22, 23. Same with Carl Walker, by the way, as well. Carl
Gary
Walker,
Brook, that's what I was thinking of.
Gary Burke. None of these guys broke through until they were, because do you know what the reality is? Male human beings, men, right? We don't actually mature into our bodies until we're 21, 22. No matter what an 18-year-old thinks, yeah, and all 18-year-olds think they've made it, right? They think they're men. They're not men, right? They're not men yet. They've got a lot of hard yards to go. And the thing that I hate is we send 18-year-olds out on loan into League One and League Two. We basically send kids into men's football, and I
Mm.
think it's just bonkers. I think it's just bonkers.
And
I think they're just far too young, and they're far too they're certainly not physically developed enough to go and play
mm,
men's football. And I don't know what everyone else was like, but at 18, I was not emotionally mature enough.
no, and also as well to add to that point that I think football's changed as well. Where years ago you could bring in an 18-year-old and he could fit into the football. Football has changed so much. Players are now developing later in their careers. And that, do you know, you may get the odd like Wayne Rooney at 16 breaking through, or a Glenn Hoddle at 17 breaking through, or a Mickey Hazard or a Stevie Perryman 17 making his debut. But
Or
then players are very far and few between.
Buskovich,
Um,
Jamal.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the big difference between those players and the
mm,
99.9% of all of the other players is those players. If you remember Wayne Rooney, look at Vuskovic now, look at
yeah,
Yamal. They're all physically overdeveloped for their age
mm,
group.
yeah,
Vuskovic is already bigger and more developed than most 25-year-olds.
yeah,
He's a beast. Wayne Rooney was an absolute unit, age 16 years old. He was
mm,
even Michael Owen when he broke through. What was his one defining characteristic? He was lightning. He was grease. He could beat any of those
mm,
men in a foot race. So that's the
mm,
difference. The difference is when you've got a youngster and it's a 0.1%. It's a 0.1 of the
mm,
percent the youngsters who are very, very physically developed. You know, they've developed physically early. The vast majority of them, we're sending them out. We're sending them to the slaughter, and they'll
mm.
never learn because we're just sending them. We're just. It's like I don't know. It's like you're sending them into the into the army age 16. They're
Yeah.
just not. They're just too young.
Like
Um,
there is an exception, like Mikey Moore. He is an exception. He's an exception to the rule because he's doing so well up in Scotland. Yes, different league, different type of football, but he's an exception to the rule. Where's Alfie Dorrington? Where is like all the other young players that came through that successful youth setup we had on the Paratici when we went on to win the Premier League two title, when we won the cup as well the following year, where them players should be playing first team football now with Tottenham, should be in and around the first team. Where are they? Still being sent out on loan. And it needs a manager to come in to say to them, right, they're not going out on loan. They're being part of the first team and they're going to be used and they're
yeah,
going to get their chance.
yeah. Or my argument would be not. You'd expect to see one or two,
Yeah.
maybe, regularly on our bench.
Mm,
And you know what? Three or four of the others, maybe we should have got 5 million for them.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We should have actually sort of
Mm,
reaped some actual rewards from that fantastic team that they developed for the
mm,
academy, but we just waste them. They
yeah.
just disappear. We
And
don't get
Gerard's right, isn't he? On this as well, that the players back in the day used to clean the dressing room, clean the players' boots. Used to, what was the something YS scheme, wasn't it? JYS scheme or something like that.
yeah,
It was a scheme back in the day. They don't do that now. They don't do that. And they're pampered and they get a lot of money as well. They do get what? They get 500, £1,000 a week, something like that.
yeah,
Between, depends which grade you're in. Mikey Moore, I think, is on 20, 30 grand a week for a 17-year-old. That's just That's just unreal. Right, let's welcome a few people. Yeah, the YTS scheme. That was it. Big up to you, John. We will talk about. I think after the window, that's something we could talk about. Right, and I think it does. There's a show there. Um, but let's welcome a few people in, bud. Big up to Giant 68. He says, big up, Dermo. At least West Ham lost in the end. Yes, they did. Apparently, there was a massive punch up as well. So I look forward to watching that match of the day tonight.
Yeah, right at the end, everybody piling in. But I can't remember. Somebody got sent off. I can't remember who it was. There was hands in, face it. It was fantastic. When it doesn't involve your team, it's
It
cinema.
is funny. Big up to Gerard. He says, thank Chelsea today. They might have saved us from a dogfight. No, we're still in a dogfight. Big up Giant. He just, he had then he thought, oh, rain's on. Right, let me retype it again. Big up Dermo and Rain Coys. Yeah. Big up to Gerard. It says Shamrock Rovers won. Derry City nil full time. Yes, the Irish soccer starts again this weekend. Big up to David Clark. Says hi from Leicester. West Ham bubbles have just bust. Yes, they have. Rain was doing that. Big up Simon Cohen. Evening, boys. West Ham lost. Come on. Whoever thought I'd be pleased with West Ham losing? Signings, please. Yeah. How do we get out of this one, Rain? How can we make it so? How can we make it exciting? We ain't gonna buy no one. But do join us on deadline day. We're on all day deadline day from 9:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. Do join us. More about that later. Big up to Brian. Hi, Dermot and Ryan. Hope you're both well. Yeah, we're okay. Cheers, bud. Big up Jared. At least, we lost Dean, one of our favourite players, Dermot. I know. I had to console Rain beforehand. It was touch and go if he was coming on the show tonight. It really was. He was that devastated.
For those of you who don't know, the reason that for about 6 months, I was trolling Dermot for about 6 months, going, we need to bring on Dane Scarlett. Oh, it's time for release the Scarlett. That was one of my one of my comments. That was like one of my regular comments. Release the Scarlett, right? And now I'm just getting it back. I'm just getting it back in space.
I knew one day I could stick them all in my hip pocket, and one day I can start dishing them out. Did we get 50p from? No, I heard it was £1. I heard it was €1 we got from. Big up to you, Gerard. Big up to when does the window actually close? 7 o'clock Monday evening. So what we're looking at now, Rain? Are we 60 odd hours away? Yeah, 60 odd hours, is it?
No, it's 48. It's 48. It's 48 hours.
48 hours.
48 hours. It's Monday at 8.
Yeah, 48 hours time.
Yeah.
And we haven't bought anyone yet. Big up to William Red. Had $30 free bet on Chelsea, more than 2.4 goals. Got €62 back. Got lucky. Well done, sir. Congratulations. Big up Gerard. That was the problem before we rewarded rubbish players. We need to be ruthless. Yes, we do. Dermo, apparently a Chelsea pensioner might join us. Well, I am hearing that. That is the latest. Rain is going to do the internal talks with the pensioner to find out what pension he's on, if it's a secure pension, and if Rain gives the all clear, we will put him forward to Tottenham Hotspur. See can we get, but it depends on the pension he's on. We need to make it that he ain't linked to the stock to the interest rates. If it's not doing that, then we're fine. We're cooking.
I'm sure he's. I'm sure all of his pensions are tax
Thank you.
pensions. Oh, you all right, Dermot?
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I just got a notification from Xbox, which I don't actually have an Xbox anymore, but never mind. My Scots team, Motherwell, only lost 2 games this year. They have the best Danish manager in the UK. Yeah, they are doing well with him. Have to say, Dermo is in tears. Yeah, of happiness. Gary Brook, big up to you, Brian. We've got SBO. He says Manchester City needs only win against Tottenham Hotspur. Haha, we are bogey team, mate. We're going to beat you tomorrow. Don't you worry about that.
We've got some good stats.
Yeah,
Stay tuned. We got some great stats. I
yeah.
mean, we were going through them, and we were like, really, they're bonkers stats when you
It's the stats with the no goals. That's the one that gets me.
yeah,
That
yeah.
really does get me.
So
Um,
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Say you. Brian says Will Lancashire is a good example. Yeah, what happened to Will Lancashire? Another
Well,
one that was.
I think he's a good example that actually he's done. I think we're actually going to get some money for him. I
Mm,
think we'll probably get around 5 million, and that's the point. The point is they don't have to make it. This is the point. I like everyone's like, oh, you want them to be in the first team? No, no, no. I just want us to get some value out of them. One every 5 years, get in the first team. That would be great. But the others, 15, 20 million a year. Out of 4 or 5 players, you're getting, sorry, total, you're making total 20 million, 15 to 20 million a year. You're
yeah.
selling 4 to 5 of them. We don't even do that. We like
Mm.
Dermot says, I think we ruin them so badly that we never get any money for them
No,
even. That's the point.
you know, I think the only one that's been a success, and it's remarkable, is Harry Kane. He's the only one that's been a success. Youth to come through the youth system.
I'd argue that Skip and Winks were also successful because we made 30 million from both of them,
Yeah,
from them combined. And that's the point. The point is,
yeah, that's true.
you if we every 10 years we got a Harry Kane,
Mm.
that would be fantastic. But at least develop them enough so that you actually make some money out of them.
Harry Kane is a once in a lifetime generational player. He's
Yeah,
our Jimmy Greaves.
yeah,
Jimmy Greaves was a once in a lifetime generational striker. And
yeah.
then we had to wait 40 years for Harry Kane to come along. You look at a midfielder, we've never really replaced Glenn Hoddle in all the years since he stopped playing for Tottenham. We've never replaced him. Have we replaced a Dave Mackay? Probably have with one or two players. Have we replaced a Bobby Smith or a Ray Clements in goal? Probably with Hugo Luis or Eric Torsford, but I don't think we've never rarely replaced Harry Kane. We replaced Harry Kane with Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Greaves, then Harry Kane replaced him. But we've never replaced Harry or Sonny, and we're struggling at the moment because we haven't replaced them. And this then falls down onto the ownership, which leads me on to the protest tomorrow, which we are going to start with, guys. I'm going to give you all the latest on the protest. We are going to start the protest as well. But just want to get through these people and welcome people in. Big up to David. We've got big up to Gerard. Big up to Giant. Big up to Espo. It says you Tottenham Hotspur can back up. What's that? Back up. Destroy Arsenal in your future 2 games against Arsenal, but just give up against Man City like you give up against West Ham, United, and Burnley. Um, yeah. And that's all she wrote, really. That is all she wrote. Big up to Lucky Singh, Tottenham win. That's the spirit, Lucky. That's the spirit. That's what we want to see. Gerard says, YTS Domo, youth training screen, 50 quid a week. Back, yeah, it was. Big up to Michael. Tobaibu put his hands around Pedro's throat.
That was in
West Ham game.
the website. Yeah,
Yeah, big up to you, Michael.
literally just rewatched it, and
Mm.
yeah, that what a scrap. Why always Chelsea? Why is it always Chelsea who seem to be involved in these? Do you remember
Mm.
like the Battle of the Bridge? It
Yeah.
always seems to be Chelsea who are involved in
Yeah.
these Barneys.
We see Chelsea can't play football properly, you see. Chelsea can't play football, so they have to revolt to fighting on the pitch to get the wins. Tottenham Hotspur will win against Arsenal. I bloody hope so. Just be supporting Tottenham. Spursy against Arsenal, but you guys will not win or draw against Man City. We're going to whoop you tomorrow. I was going to be nice to you. I really was going to be nice to you, but I'm not. We're going to whoop you. We're going to take your pants down. We're going to smack your ass so hard. You're going to be going back to Manchester with the red arse, and Pep there will be scratching his bald head, thinking, how have I been demobilised again by Tottenham? How can I not beat this Tottenham side? We're going to school you. We're going to show you why we are the greatest club in the world. and why Man City are still humbling away in your little fantasy land. Yes, we're going to whoop you. There you go. I was going to be nice, but I'm sorry. We're going to whoop you. Referee are too soft. Should have been more one red card. Barry, I totally agree. Big up to John Lee. I don't see us win tomorrow against Man. We are going to win, John Lee. Think about it. Go to bed positive. Been trying to join through one, except my finger ID print. Are you okay, William? Look, it's all right, Bob, but thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, man. As much as I cannot stand Chelsea, they did Spurs a favour today. Yeah, they did. First time Chelsea has come back from 2-0 down at the Bridge since 1987. Bet me, that's a stat and a half. Rain's sinking now. I can't. I think he might be right, but that's that.
Wouldn't know. I mean, that's crazy. If that's a, I mean, obviously I trust you, Michael. That's a crazy stat. Is it
That
just
is
that
crazy.
how many times have they not come back from being 2-0 down? Like, is
Mm,
it that they've never been 2-0 down? This is the first time, like since 1987, or have there been like? Do you see what I mean? Has
yeah,
there been no other instances since 1987, or
yeah.
has been like each? There's been like five or six, and they've in each of those they've never come back. But I'd be interested to know. Might do a
It
little
would
prop.
be 7 p.m. Big up, Giant says Dermo. Is the Chantra crystal ball working, or is it in the repair shop? I'm just waiting for an update from our sources. We will get one for you. But the problem is with Tottenham, there's been no news around Spurs this year. This window, it's been very quiet. Barry says I'm at total loss for what's going on at Tottenham. I think you, me, and the 50,000 other fans puzzled. Actually, yeah, we're all puzzled. Bring back Harry. Harry wouldn't come back to us if we were the last team on earth. To be fair, Jimmy Greaves, I forgot Martin Shivers. Yeah, Jimmy Greaves, Martin Shivers, then Harry Kane. We've got Michael says Hoddle was once in a 50-year player. Exactly. Tequila, big up to you, Tequila 316. Big up to the boss. He is the boss of the channel. He sits there in THFC Towers looking down as the boss, and we're all on. He's there saying, get the thumbs up or the thumbs down if we've done well. Big up to your boss. He says, has the clown gone yet? No, not yet. Clown 2.0 has not gone yet. He does say that actually. He says, sorry, wrong year. Has clown version 2.0 gone yet? No, he's still here. He is still here. Big up to Rudolph as well. It is unreasonable to replace the players you mentioned, as they were mostly homegrown, which perhaps happens once in a generation. The scouting needs to be better. We need not to pay huge amounts for them. No, that is true. Yeah, no, that is true. Um,
But the problem that I've got, Rudolph, is that we end up buying squad players
yeah.
when actually our squad players, the ones who should play 10 games a year,
Mhm,
they should be coming out of our academy, and then we spin them on, and we either
mhm,
just release them or we get a few pennies for them. But what we end up doing is spending a lot of time and effort on buying squad players. And
mhm.
it just sucks up. Rather than spending time and effort on replacing Harry Kane, we spend time and effort on getting a squaddy. It's just
Yeah. It's for me, Rain. It is such bonkers a way of doing transfer stuff. It really is. It's bonkers. It is really bonkers. It really is. Let's see. Big up to you. No, and that through, mate. Big up to you, Takela. You, I don't know what that's about. Liverpool versus Newcastle was a scrappy game. So giant. Keep us updated, by the way. And then we've got Brian said Spurs were beating Chelsea 2-0 in the late. Andy Gray missed a penalty and Chelsea won 3-2. I seem to remember that. And then we've got John Lee. I don't see we beat Man City. If we're lucky, we just draw. No, we're going to win tomorrow. We are going to beat Man City tomorrow because we're the greatest team in the world.
John Lee. I've got a very good reason why we're going to win tomorrow. I'll tell you. When we do the score prediction, or when we talk about something in a little bit, I'll explain why there's a very very good reason why we're going to beat Man City tomorrow. You're going to be stunned.
Yeah.
And it will make everything clear. You'll absolutely be changing your mind. Trust me.
Yeah. And Brian says, why are we being linked to Sterling? I don't get it. Because we don't have to pay money to a club to get him. He's free. Just
And
pay him an odd wage.
we're desperate.
Yeah. But that's the board's fault. That is the board's fault. And then I agree, we buy poor players, we don't develop our academy players better. Also, the scouting is clearly not good enough. Who scouted Tanguy? As it should have been obvious what he was like, but didn't. Okay, I agree. Tottenham, look, I agree with this. Tequila been saying it for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, that the club needs burning down and building again. I agree with that. It needs burning down and starting again. Right, Man City. We'll get into the game tomorrow, guys, in a minute. But we are going to start, and I make no apologies for it. We're going to start on the protests and Change for Tottenham. Now, Change for Tottenham did put out a statement during the week about what they're going to do, and we did discuss it during the week. Me, James, and Rain, I think, on last Monday's show. Now, Rain, where are you with Change for Tottenham at the moment? It's the second protest since they've said they will since the last game. Now, this is what they wrote, right? Change for Tottenham, Sunday the 1st of February, Tottenham versus Man City. The board will not listen to silence. They will not listen to patience. They will only listen to when match day going fans visibly, collectively discontent. If we don't act together inside the stadium, nothing changes. So before 4 o'clock, before kickoff at 4 p.m., meet on the South Stand area outside, bring flags, scarves, banners, join chants against the owners, make the message loud before the ball is kicked during the game. Continue the Enoch out chants throughout the match, boycott spending inside the stadium, don't fund the failure. 75-minute walkout. At 75 minutes, we encourage all fans to leave the stadium, head to the local pub, and watch the remainder of the match there. This match is live on TV. The world will be watching. This will make a big statement. If the stadium empties, the message is undeniable. If we stay seated and quiet, the board will ignore us again. Now, Lazio did it, didn't they? And their stadium emptied, completely emptied. Now, I understand a lot of people will not walk out the 75th minute. You're going to the game tomorrow, by the way.
I am.
You're going to walk out the 75th minute.
I am.
Do you think you're going to get many people? Do you think there'll be many people behind you
No.
walking out?
No.
Then basically the protest will be a failure then.
I think we have to do it. I think we have to. You have look. If you don't try, then you'll never succeed, right? If you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the lottery. We've got all these sayings, and that's the reality of it. I talk to a lot of. I'm quite a social person, and I talk to a lot of the season ticket holders who sit around me, and most of them don't. Most of them don't talk to each other, but I talk to all of them, right? So, there's a family in front of me, although they've missed about 3 or 4 games, last 3 or 4 games, of granddad, son, and grandkid, right? Who's now about, I reckon he's now about 12. He's gone from here to here. He's put on so many inches in the last couple of years. And I talk to the people behind me. I talk to the people on all sides. They don't talk to each other, right? They don't talk to each other. None of them are really aware of all of this. They're not really aware of it. They're not in this space. They're not on X. Some of them are on Facebook, but they don't really look at Tottenham on Facebook. I remember when we did the Save Our Seniors protests.
Yeah.
They had no idea. They had no idea what was going on. Not a clue. So when I go tomorrow, and I generally turn up an hour early, sit down, and as people come up, I chat to them. I used to love chatting to all the Koreans because the Koreans would always turn up early, and I'd always have chats to them, and they were fantastic. Um, and I'm fully expecting tomorrow for none of them to be aware about. There'll be a couple. The chap directly behind me is a little bit more clued in.
Yeah.
But they leave on 75 minutes anyway.
Mm.
They always leave on 75 minutes, so they'll be protesting by default because that's what they always do. But like my little microcosm, my little sort of micro community here, I'm sure it's reflective all the way around. So
Yeah, I'd say so.
out of about 15 of us, I think probably only 3 are sort of aware of what's going on in the wider, outside
Mm.
of our direct bubble. So if people aren't aware, then they won't be planning to do it. And if they're not planning to do it, do you know what? They probably won't do it. So
Yeah.
it kind of like William said it. If we're winning, people probably won't leave, and he's probably right. But I think if we're losing, people probably won't leave because it's just not really on them. The hope is that 500 to 1,000 of us, if 500 of us walk out tomorrow,
Mm.
then maybe for the next game we get 2,000, and
Yeah.
maybe for the game after that you get 3,500.
Mm.
Maybe the game after that you get 10, right? And it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to start somewhere. And I've never been a fan. In fact, Dermot, I think you and I were on the same page. There was
Mm.
one. They tried to organise a walkout at half time, I think.
For the Palace game last year.
Right, and I was dead against that.
Mm.
75 minutes. 75 minutes I can live with.
Yeah.
75,
The
70, and I think it makes a bigger statement if I'm brutally
Mm.
honest. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, it does. It makes a bigger statement, doesn't it?
yeah,
Because the people walk out at half time, they think, oh, they're having a bad day. Tequila Heads, big up to here from Tequila says, I respect you, Rain, for wanting to support your club financially, which I think we all do one way or the other. But I don't see how you can be happy giving these guys your money. And
so
that's the point.
you're talking
That's
about my season ticket,
yeah.
Tequila.
Isn't that the balancing act that you're willing to protest, but your love for Tottenham and watching them outweighs, doesn't it? Eh, how do you balance that? It's a fair question. How do you balance it with
Ah, it's quite
with
simple.
your do you let your love for Tottenham get ahead of you, and then with the protests, can you? I don't know how to put this right. Can you
I I can
can
I
you
can
separate it
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
one for the other?
Yeah, I have absolutely no desire to cut off my nose to spite my face.
Mm,
Just because I want my football club to behave in a different way.
mm,
I want my football club, and it's quite clear that I think we need different um, response from the owners. Um, just because of that, it doesn't lessen my desire to be involved with my football club.
yeah,
And
no, that's fair.
and the way that I'm not just saying this to you, Dermot. I'm saying it to the
Mm,
and the biggest way that I am involved with my football club is to go to watch my football team.
mm,
I particularly enjoy going and speaking with people. I started going. Here's a history lesson. I started going when I got divorced, or actually when I separated from my wife.
mm.
And I did joke at the time that getting a season ticket and going to watch Tottenham would be cheaper than supporting my ex-wife. I'm not sure that was. I did joke about that. I'm not sure that was strictly true, to be honest. But the reality is that really helped me when I separated from my wife. It's a very, very big thing,
Yeah.
right? And for me, going to my football club and being passionate about it is exactly why I protest.
Mm.
I'm not giving them my money. I'm paying to do what I want to do.
Mm. But the money does end up in the, I suppose, somewhere in their hip pocket, somewhere with the owners. So with the protests, right? And I think Billy is getting it right now. I think Change for Tottenham are getting it right. I think more people have to join the protest. How do we get more fans to get behind the Change for Tottenham banner? Because 200 fans, which I think it was at the last protest, isn't going to make much of a noise when you've got 60,000 going to the stadium. You look at Manchester United with their protests, thousands upon thousands turn up day in, day, every protest. What is it with them? Is there a different psyche between us and Manchester United? We both love our football clubs, but why is one set of protests getting thousands and Change for Tottenham can only get 200? Does something have to change within the psyche? What happens? Because I don't get it. I think I thought it would be more people protesting, especially at the last one. Are you hoping for more this time because of the window being so close and where we are in the league?
I mean, I don't have answers to
No,
those
but for you
questions.
personally,
But they're very
personally,
valid.
you go to the protests. I mean,
I'm ever
should
present.
yeah, but should more fans? Why don't more fans join it? Is it a thing because it's a protest, so they don't want to be? I just don't get it. I you look at other clubs, even when we had the Super League thing. Thousands turned up at Liverpool, thousands turned up at Chelsea, thousands turned up at Arsenal, a few hundred turned up at Tottenham,
Yeah,
all dancing around merchandise they had in their hand.
yeah, I
If
remember.
I remember rightly, two of them were dancing around with a can of beer in one hand and a shoe in the other in the air. That was my image of that protest like. It's important we do get behind it, isn't it, though? It's really important we get behind Change for Tottenham.
I think it's important that people are true to themselves,
Mm,
and I can understand that there's a lot of people who like you're asking me as
mm,
somebody who wants to protest. Why am I giving them money and going to the stadium,
mm.
right? And there's a lot of people who are not at the point where they want to protest. There'll be a lot of
Yeah.
people who disagree with what's going on, who are
Mm,
frustrated, but are not at the point where they want to protest. They might be worried about what would happen if they protested. There are in the past there have been people who are very aggressive,
mhm,
and I think that puts it off. Which is why looking back to speaking to Billy a few weeks ago,
mm,
I was at pains to say we must do it the right way, because it would, if there's any kind of violence, I'm not doing it. I'm not
mm.
interested. I want to protest, but I want to do it. I want to have my
In the
voice
right way.
heard. Yeah, but I don't want to be involved in any kind of in anything that could be seen to be antisocial. I've no interest in it whatsoever. Um, and there'll be a lot of people who are very worried about that. There are a lot of people who just want to go and watch football.
Mm,
They do, yes, they love their football club, but they just want to go. They just don't. They just they've got other things in their life to worry about. This they don't want to worry about all of this stuff that happens off the pitch, because that's where the majority of it is.
yeah.
They just want to turn up, watch the football, go home. And you know what? That's fine. I'm not going to be one of these people who I see on YouTube who criticize those people,
Mm,
tell them that they're wrong, tell them that they're idiots, because they're not. They're human beings with their own, their own place in
Mm,
the world, and it's the right place for them.
mm,
And everyone will do what they want to do, and do it in the right way. And do it in the way that they want to.
mm.
The
I,
the the way that we change it. So you asked me a few questions.
yeah,
The
sorry.
way the way that we change it is to lead.
Mm,
That's it. It's to lead. What I cannot stand personally from some people I've seen is they berate people and they beat them. Do you know?
mm,
You don't get a human being to follow you, to do what you want them to do, by beating them. What ends up happening, you may get it in the short term, but what ends up happening is they turn around and end up beating you.
yeah,
The way that you get people to follow you is, and forgive me, this is the way that I think. I may have, as we discussed a week or so, I may have a very mongrel ancestry in terms of my racial background, but I'm very British, and I believe that you try to persuade people with words, and you do things the right way, and you lead by example,
yeah. No, I agree.
and you respect
Uh,
other people. Sorry, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
respect other people.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, look, I think they have to be done the right way. Yes, it does. But we also have to make sure we keep the pressure up. I think by not protesting, and that I do say, and I stand by this, that we should never have stopped protesting. I think we should have continued and kept the pressure up, because I do feel the pressure was building, that they were sort of realizing, hang on, they're not happy. I think by I don't I would say the protest had a small percentage of Daniel Levy leaving. I think the rest of it's down to Enoch and the fallout between them two. On Daniel Levy, it broke yesterday that he's willing to sell his shares to a businessman in Hong Kong. Apparently, there's a consortium of people willing to look into buy his shares for £1 billion. Um, where are you on it? I mean, Tottenham, look, it's still in early stages for what I've been told. It could still fall through, and we have to see. Tottenham have not confirmed anything either, by the way. But we've said it quite consistently that Tottenham are up for sale, all in bot name. Do you think this is the first chink? If he sells his 30% to this consortium, do you think this is the first chink of a takeover?
So I can't remember whether this was this an American consortium. I can't
No, it
remember.
was a Hong Kong one.
Oh, that
People
was.
from Hong
Oh,
Kong.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
broke last night
yeah, yeah. I got it. Yeah,
on
um,
Bloomberg.
yeah. It's fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating for somebody like me who's been involved in the corporate world. A lot of people, just don't. It doesn't. I can say they wouldn't care. With this, but this is fascinating, and this will have a direct impact on our club. And
Yeah.
you look back at what happened with Arsenal.
Mm,
Arsenal didn't kick on until Kroenke got got not ownership, got the right to fully run the club
yeah,
from, what was his name, Usmanov. Was it Usmanov? There was a Russian
it
guy.
was. I think it was. Yeah.
And it's really, really important, for the in with football, that the people who are running the club feel like they're going to get the maximum amount of
Mm,
value out of it. Now, do we want that to be ENIC 2.0? At the moment, it doesn't look very good.
no.
So not really. Do I want it to be Daniel Levy? No, not really. Think I don't think he was. Uh,
Mm,
I think he rode the coattails of the Premier League taking off personally,
yeah.
and natural. natural development within the Premier League, and didn't back us when we needed to be backed.
Mhm.
Didn't take the opportunity, the full opportunities that were there for us. Not wanting to get into the whole levy thing, but this is clear new evidence
Yeah.
that Levy's been out. Levy was ousted, aggressively by them,
Mhm.
and now he's looking to exit. The interesting thing was the price that was rumored valued the club at around 4.5 billion, and I think this may very well be a case of Daniel Levy being really financially smart, because I think he may very well be getting more value out of the club, out of selling his shares,
Mhm.
than they're probably worth. I think,
Yeah.
how would it impact us? It won't impact us unless that consortium then decides that they want to take. It won't give them any kind of control or a say.
No.
Basically, the Lewis family will still own somewhere around 65%, I think.
But
Of
it will give them a foothold to get in.
Yeah, it'll give them a foothold. And that Hong Kong consortium won't be able to persuade all of the minority shareholders, most of whom are Tottenham fans who didn't sell their shares
Mm.
when ENIC bought the club from Sugar, um, who would make up somewhere around 15 to 20%, if I remember rightly,
Yeah.
of the club. They won't be getting those shares, so unless the Lewis family decide that they're going to step away, then they're going nowhere.
Yeah. I think that's what we want. I think in the long run. Look, I don't want Asian ownership. I don't think it works. Somebody says it in the chat. You look at Leicester and you look at Reading as well. Even look at Sheffield Wednesday. Um, Now, at the moment, Tottenham Hotspur current owns Zenit Group, which hosts 86.58% of the club. The remaining 13.2 is owned by a group of minority investors. The Enid Group was established by Lewis in 2022. Joe Lewis removed himself from the board, and the control was handed to the members of Lewis Trust and Daniel Levy, who now holds 29.88% of shares in the Enid Group. So that's basically Tottenham. Um, what we all want our Tottenham back, don't we? We all want Tottenham to go out and buy players and be. And look, I think this transfer window, Tequila did ask me, and that's why I was waiting for it. Um, he says, Dermo, has Spurs done enough in the transfer window, so you're now behind Enid. I want Enid to go. I want them to get out of my football club. I've been saying, and look, I agree people should have been giving them a chance. I understand that. I agree. Give them a chance, let them see. I never was going to give them a chance. Never was, and never was, never will, because I know what they're like. They're coming true to form. So I want Enid gone. But who you got to be very careful who you get to come in afterwards. Are we going to get a Glazer type owners? Are we going to get an American owner like FSG at Liverpool, who have been very successful with Liverpool? They backed Jurgen Klopp with players. So that's sort of the owners I want. Do I want an Asian consortium? No, because you look at Reading, you look at Leicester, you look at Sheffield Wednesday, all with Asian ownership. It is very much, this is a football club that we love, that we adore, which is our club. And we're entrusting people to handle the business of our football club. We need to be very careful where we go on from here. But isn't there a question to say, Rain, that it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't?
The grass isn't always
What do
grass
you
isn't
want to
always
see
green
from Enoch? Bud?
the grass isn't always greener on the other
Greener.
side. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the one thing you want to see from the Lewis family to make you go, do you know what? They've changed. They are different from Joe Lewis and Daniel Levy. Is it just spending money in the transfer window? Is that the main grops of it?
I mean, for me, so it's such a complex
Mm.
a complex thing. All I really want is us to buy better players.
Yeah.
That's effectively that's what I want, right? That's what I want. However they do that, I don't care. I really don't care how they do that.
Mm.
I just and yeah, sorry, I did want to mention that actually. And then maybe this is relevant. If you go back to Williams
Yeah.
Pope, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, mate. What they might actually what the consortium if Levy, because there's no guarantee that Levy is going to sell his shares, and knowing having our history with Daniel Levy that we do, I would not put it past him to mess this consortium about so much that they end up not yeah they end up deciding not to have anything to do with him and not buying his shares from them. But if the consortium did buy these shares, then yes, absolutely, they then could loan. They then would could do an internal loan in to the football club, that on the premise that improving the football club
Mm.
improves the value of the shares that they have. But they wouldn't, they wouldn't throw money. I'm absolutely clear. No businessman is just going to give money away without any kind of guarantee that they're going to get it back. It would be a loan to the football club, which ENIC have done. People have said, "Oh,
Mm.
ENIC, but 150 million." No, it's not free, not free money. It's money that's basically secured on the club, in one way or another. Yes, you're absolutely right. They may well do. I just want our football club to buy better players. That's been my whole message. Buy better players. However they do that, then you know, then do it. Get it done. I have a slight suspicion that they are trying to do the right thing, but they're just doing it so slowly
Yeah.
that it's actually pointless. It needs and even if they are doing the right thing, then they're just not doing it quick enough. It needs
Yeah.
we are with I mean like West Ham have lost today, but we are it feels like we're teetering on the edge a little bit,
Yeah.
Dermot.
I said to it, it's like the crossroads, isn't it? Which way do we go down? And I
Yeah.
always say that we've been at these crossroads before, and we're now back at the same crossroads again. It's like we've done a loop. Look, we do have the transfer window closing in 48 hours. Look, I'd be lucky if we get one player in the next 48 hours, if that. If the window does shut and we've only got it's Conor Gallagher and then 19-year-old and an 18-year-old West Ham player. For me, that's not a good window. That is a terrible window. And, you're not backing Thomas Frank at all. Thomas Frank, there again, the ownership seems to be, they've backed themselves into a corner, and Thomas Frank, by the way, where they've now backed themselves into a corner where they can't sack him. Because I think they've been so much, oh, we're going to give them time. But with the next Champions League being in March, we know we've got a fixture of 4 games now where we're probably not going to win any of them. I doubt if we will, but we're not. Do you cut ties with Thomas Frank if we lose tomorrow and say, do you know what? We don't have the Champions League to March. We've got these tough games coming up. Do we just make a change for the hell of it now and bring somebody in?
Let me have a think. No. No, I'm going to be.
You'd be
I'm going to be You're going to keep asking, and I'm going to keep going. No, I don't think we. I wouldn't be. I would be sticking with my plan, and it's quite clear to me that
what
is
plan? They
Thomas
don't
Frank
have
a
a
problem?
plan.
Yeah, exactly. Is Thomas Frank a problem? Yeah, Thomas Frank probably is a problem. Is Thomas Frank the problem? No. Thomas Frank is not the problem. The problem is what you just said about the transfer window. This is the problem at our football club.
Yeah.
It's We haven't got. Where? Oh, you forgot. You've got about Melia. By the way, in
Oh
your little
yeah,
summary of players who's
yeah, yeah.
coming.
He's a genius, but he's out with an injury as well.
uh, uh,
Look, I think you're right. I think the transfers is the bigger thing, but I think we lose again. If we lose tomorrow, then the noise is going to be back again. The fans will be singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning." You're going to get people ringing up radio stations, "Get this man out of my football club." The same thing is going to happen again, and it was like last season under Ange, wasn't it? Right in Europe, come back into the Premier League, absolutely balls it up, and this man has to go. And it's like game after game after game after game. You're waiting for the news he's been sacked, and it doesn't happen. You just want Tottenham to rip the plaster off and just get it off the gaping wound and get it done and dusted. I think why they haven't sacked him yet because nobody wants to come in and manage the football club because they know what a shit show we are. So who are you going to get? That's another thing. Big up to Ed Fan as well from Hamburg. Big up to you, Ed Fan. Hope you're doing, bud. Right, Man City. Let's go through the stats and the facts for Man City, guys. Yes, we have played them 57 times, 8 draws. Tottenham have had a total of 30 wins, 17 at home, 13 away. Man City have had a total 19 total wins, 11 at home, and only 8 away. In the league, Tottenham are 14th with 7 wins, 7 draws, 9 defeats, 7 clean sheets. Manchester City are second with 14 wins, 4 draws, 5 defeats, and 10 clean sheets this season. Tottenham's previous recent form isn't great. No win in our last 5. We did draw 2-2 with Burnley last time out, but we have lost to West Ham at home, to Bournemouth away, and we did draw against Sunderland and Brentford there at the start of the year. Man City have only had 1 win in the last 5 because that was against Wolves. They did lose 2-0 in the Manchester derby, but they have drawn against Bournemouth, Chelsea, and Sunderland for 3 successive draws. Over the last 5 years, Tottenham Hotspur and the games between Tottenham and City have been quite even. The last score draw was back in 2023 in a 3-0 draw at the Etihad. But since then, whoever scores first wins the game and the opposition don't score. City with the 2-0 win at our place, 4-0, of course, under Ange, 1-0. Of course, City have won the last 2 at our place, so that they were looking for a hat-trick. But we've won the last 2 at their place. So we're looking for a hat-trick next season. But that stat, isn't it, Rain? Whoever scores first wins the game is a mad stat. It really
is a mad. It is. It's not just that's a mad stat, but our Manchester City friend Espio. The other thing that's glaring here is the last 4 games. The home team 0 goals, and every single one has been won by the away team in the last 4 matches between these 2 clubs. That is crazy. And
it really is.
unfortunately, it doesn't bode well for us tomorrow.
No, it doesn't. But that
Because
cycle,
unless I turn up and I'm at the wrong place,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're out tomorrow.
Yeah. I just saw your comment there, Barry Smith. So I will get to it in a minute. But yes, of course, the referee tomorrow is Robert Jones, Neil Davis, Nick Grenahad, Andy Madley's the 4th official, and Gerard Gillette. The closest shave you can get is on VAR.
We don't like.
We
don't like him.
We don't. No,
we don't like. We like Pawson less, but we don't like Gillette. Yeah.
No, I don't like Andy Madley either. I think he's useless. If you are watching it in UK and Ireland, it's on Sky Main Event. What you do, you put the game on the telly, you turn your volume down, and you leave the commentating to us. In Argentina, if you're watching it, it's on ESPN Argentina. If you're in Thailand having a holiday, it's on AIS Play Monomax. If you're in the United States, it's on Peacock. And if you're in Canada, it's on Fubo TV. So that's where you can watch the game around the world. Team news, Mickey van der Ven. Injury only minor and it's touch and go for Sunday. Thomas, hopeful Paro and Richarlison return for the Arsenal game in the late February. And Solanke is ready to start on Sunday. Rain, we're going to wrap it up shortly, bud. But what are you hoping for tomorrow? What are you hoping?
I'm hoping for a different result from those 4 away wins. Very, very much so. Now, I'm absolutely convinced. William Webb, going back to what we were saying, I'm absolutely convinced this is how things will go. I think that everybody at home who does what Dermot's just said and puts the telly on and then does what I do when I'm at home, which is turn the volume off the telly and tune into the watch along and engage in chat and listen to Dermot's commentary and engage with the community and turn the TV off. I think you're going to have a very, very good 75 minutes together. I think you guys are all going to have a good time. And I think it's going to be very, very boring 0-0 for those 75 minutes. I think then I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave.
Do I leave at 75 minutes as well? Do I leave the watch along?
No, you need to comment on.
No, I am. I'm literally going to walk out. I'm going to walk off from the watch along in 75 minutes and come back a minute later and continue the watch along. I'm literally am going to do that. That would be my way of protesting. Joining the protest.
And then I think it's going to be a 5-goal thriller in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss 5 absolutely stunning goals, and Tottenham's going to win 3-2.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait for tomorrow. I think Spurs are going to win 3-2 as well. I think, look, we are Man City's bogey team, but I also think that these are the games we turn up for. These are the games we turn up for. And I think it is about time they give us something back. They really do need. They owe us one. There is a video coming out in the next couple of days, guys, about Tottenham's getting from top 4 in the Champions League and how that is an accomplishment in itself, by the way, because it did finish that league with the team with the best defensive record in the whole Champions League, top 8. So there will be a video coming out in the next, I think tomorrow or Monday it'll be out. So do watch out for that. Your predicted lineup will be out in the morning, guys, at 9 o'clock. So do watch out for that as well. We're going to pre-record that straight after this show. I'm going for a 3-2 win. I think Spurs will turn up tomorrow, and that would be a good start because on deadline day, we are back. We're back with a bang because we're on from 9 to half 9 in the morning. We're on from 12 to half 1 in the afternoon, and we're on from 3 to 8 o'clock on Monday evening. I'm not on Tuesday because I'd be too knackered from the night before. But yeah, we are on. So do join us for that. Rain, you are going to tomorrow. So hopefully when you're on next, but give us a bit of an update on the protest, how it went, and maybe you can describe the walkout, what it was like, what you did afterwards. Where did you go? Did you go to the pub? Did you go to the chippy? Did you all talk about Amadale Farm? So it's going to be interesting where they actually just go into the concourse and watch the game.
I think that's where the majority of people will go. I think that,
yeah.
And you have to remember, I'm in the Paxton, so I'm in the North Stand, which is a lot less militant, if I can put it that way. There's a lot less people there who are, and actually sort of a third of it's the away fans anyway. The majority, all of the Change for Tottenham people who are directly involved, they're all in the South Stand. Our massive South Stand. So I suspect they will all just pour into the concourse. I hope that they will be disciplined enough to not go and order a pint, because that would defeat the point. So I hope that they can go onto the concourse. There's loads of TVs there. Be together, but be out of the stand. So still have the atmosphere because we'll still be with people, with other Spurs fans, but not, but like Billy said, or whoever wrote, like Change for Tottenham said, show the watching audience that Spurs fans are not happy with the way that things are going, and this window has just been horrendous. Come on,
Yeah,
nobody can argue.
It's been the worst window ever that I can remember. But guys, thank you for watching. Rain, where can people find you, bud?
Here.
Short and simple. Guys, thank you all for watching. We are on tomorrow from 4 o'clock. James will be hosting your build-up show at 4. I will be coming on at 4:15 for the watch along. So do join me then. We've got After the Whistle as well, straight after the game, where we're going to talk about the game and our instant thoughts on it. Player ratings will be out at 11 o'clock on Monday as well. Got a question here for 1K101. It says, Rain, in complete honesty, how many fans are you thinking will walk? Will it actually be noticed among the huge support in the stands? I think it's a great question, actually, to be fair.
I think I've already answered it.
Yeah, well,
What's,
the answer
what,
again.
how many do you think, Dermot? And remember, there's about 50,000 Spurs fans.
I would love
52,000
10.
Spurs.
I would love 15,000 to walk out.
But how many do you think will walk out?
20.
20 people.
20. Yeah.
I think you'll get at least the amount that protested. So I think you'll get. I think it will be somewhere between 200 and 500 people, and I don't think it will be noticeable in the slightest. I think it will be, to be honest, 1K101Y. Whatever. Icloy. I don't know. But I think it won't be noticeable. I would love to be wrong. I'd love if it's anything upwards of 1,000 people who noticeably walk out on 75 minutes, then that for me is a massive success. That for me is a massive an absolute massive success. But I reckon somewhere between. I reckon realistically, and I'm very realistic. I try to be as realistic as possible. I expect it will be between 200 to 500. I'd love for everybody to come and join us. I'd love for it to be like, what was it? I can't remember who the Italian club was. Was it the Italian club?
It was Lazio.
I would love for us to get because they got absolutely everybody in the stadium walked out. Everybody. Not there were a few left. Everybody walked out. They were all together to show their dissent in a non-violent, very, very, very clear way. They were all together, and I'd love for us to be the same. Even if we got half of the stadium to go out, that would be amazing. If we got 1,000, then I'd be really happy because that will be noticed.
Yeah, it really would. Guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. We will be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So join us then. Do hit the like, do hit subscribe. As I said, play a predicted lineup will be at 11 tomorrow. So guys, join us then. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy your night. Come on, you Spurs. We're going to beat the Man City tomorrow. We're going to end on a positive note. 3-2 to Spurs. That's what we want. And on that bombshell, we should leave it there. See you tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.
Talk till I die. Raise the banner.